Buffalo Bill fans, what's up? The draft is over, rookie minicamp starting. We're in early May. Football season feels like it's forever away when in fact, got training camp only in a little over, well, a little under 2 months. So, believe it or not, before we know it, we're not that far off. And of course, there's a new debate amongst Bills fans, much like there was a debate about which quarterback they would take, who should they take, who likes this one, who likes that one, who doesn't like this, whatever. That's all said and done. EJ Manuel was the guy and is going to be the guy. Now the debate is sit him or start him. Now, if you've been watching me long enough, I think you'd automatically assume or know which camp I'd be in. You start him. Why? I don't have all day, but I'm going to give you some very good reasons why. Kevin Kolb and Javaris Jackson are the backups, and I think that's what they are, backups. The Bills played the last 4 seasons with a backup as a starter, and it showed in the record and play everywhere. So, and there was no young rookie quarterback behind him to push him or to threaten him, so it was kind of de facto starting quarterback situation with a backup, which is very unfortunate. But now it's not the case. We have the rookie first round pick, which is a very rare situation for us Bills fans, with the two veterans behind him who are essentially career backups. And both have been given opportunities in prior situations to start, and both didn't succeed. And on that note, I would ask Bills fans, why should they get an opportunity to start in Buffalo when you have a new head coach who wants to move forward? They're talking about forward-thinking, aggressive, attacking organization, and those organizations were starting rookie quarterbacks. People can talk all they want about the Bengals. They told their veteran starter, look, we're not going to trade you. We're not going to, just if you don't want to play, just retire. We don't care. And they started a rookie quarterback who was a second-round pick. And they've been to the playoffs 2 years in a row. They didn't win, but they've still been to the playoffs. San Fran had a hot quarterback, a guy who had taken them to the NFC Championship game, a guy who was, leading the league in completion percentage and was playing very well. They had a young quarterback. They felt like they had gotten in a good position, and they took him and rode him. They saw the opportunity to finally get him in there, and they went for it. Took him all the way to the Super Bowl, almost won. That's aside from RG3, Russell Wilson, and there's a few other examples, like a Ben Roethlisberger, for example, who finally went in there. And there was always that tag name he had, was Bus Driver Ben. He was a bus driver because he didn't throw the ball a lot in his first couple of years. He didn't go over 300 attempts. That's unheard of now. But even moreover, if you look at RG3, Russell Wilson, they didn't throw over 400 passes this year. But what they did have was very good running games, aside from using their own legs to make plays and extend plays and pick up first downs and what have you. Alfred Morris, Marshawn Lynch, that's what they had. And they stuck to it. And they had a very similar pattern. Their first 8 games, there was a few good ones in there, but they weren't that hot. But their last 7 to 8 were amazing. So there you go, Bills fans. The blueprint has been laid. It's there for you. And what do the Bills have? They have C.J. Spiller, one of the most electric runners in the league, who hopefully will finally get the ball 250, 275 times this year. And Fred Jackson, who's finally going to be put in the right situation as a backup running back. Hopefully he won't get banged up, he'll know his role, and he'll be able to focus a little bit better. And what do both those running backs do? Very well. They catch the football out of the backfield. Another thing that'll help a rookie quarterback. A quarterback, it's baptism by fire, no matter how you slice it. If they delay it now, that's all we'll be talking about next year is, oh, dude, how's Manuel going to do? Is he going to get any better? Did he get any better sitting down watching Kevin Kolb or Javaris Jackson play? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Travaris Jackson hasn't played in 2 years, and Cobb always gets hurt. So you're going to end, with that said, if you're going to start one of them, you're just going to give reps away. So you're going to take reps away from the future franchise quarterback to give to two journeyman backup quarterbacks. Why? So you can win a couple of meaningless games in September or early October? No. I'm not saying any game is meaningless, but you want Manuel winning those games. You're not going anywhere with Cobb or Jackson winning those games. You want Manuel winning those games. You want Manuel developing chemistry with the receivers, the offensive line, being able to get those looks on those defenses. And moreover, I think it's important for him to go back to the sideline and have a quarterback who's played in the league telling him things, like Cobb or Jackson, because they do have more experience in the NFL, and they're going to be able to see things maybe he doesn't see from their vantage point, and they're going to be able to fill him in a little better, as opposed to him, he's never seen some of this stuff. Plus, his quarterback coach and his offensive coordinator is going to be one voice, and I think that's also very important. And obviously Marrone. So I think and I believe that Manuel is the way to go, 100%, end of story. And I believe they will start Manuel. He will have to be atrociously bad this preseason for him not to start. I mean, epically. And he doesn't strike me as the kind of kid that's going to come in there and take a backward step and try to acquiesce to veterans or anything like that. I think he's going to try to win that job. And even if it's even, he'll be the starter. And I think it's important to establish a pecking order right away. This is your job, because to me, a lot of fans, it's about reps. There's only so many reps to go around, and especially with the way the NFL practice is structured now with the new CBA, these guys can't, you can't dictate practices, organizationally like you could in the past. Everybody has to adhere to the same guidelines. So Manuel getting as many reps as he can with those starters, with the offensive line, is as important as could be. I'd rather go 3-13 with EJ Manuel than 6-10 or 7-9 with Kevin Cobb or Travaris Jackson, if they could last that long. And that's another thing. That would be not good. He doesn't get any reps. He's pretty much designated as the backup. Oh, he has to just, be thrown into the fire of a bad game and play because, Cobb got his ribs broken or he's hurt or something like that. I don't want that situation. I want him knowing, and granted, I want him to win the job. I want him to go out and compete and win the job. I don't want him to be handed the job. But let's be honest, we all know he's here to be the guy. Not here to watch Kevin Cobb or Travaris Jackson play for a year. That doesn't work for me. And everybody will want to cite Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. That's, neither here nor there. The Packers didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers. He was in a competition with Brian Braum. You saw how that went. But Bills fans, this is my feeling on it. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. I firmly believe that Manuel is the way to go. He's the future of the Bills. He's the future of this team, current, and going forward. And frankly, I want to see him play. I have no interest in watching Kevin Cobb or Travaris Jackson play quarterback. I don't. I want to see EJ Manuel play. I want to watch him develop. I want to watch him over the years hopefully become a great quarterback. I want to see the excitement of him picking up first downs and burning defenses and, beating teams down the field with his arm, and then them being confused because they don't know if they're going to see run or pass, and they're worried about, play action with Spiller or what have you. I want to see that, don't you? I want to see an offense that strikes fear into the hearts of other teams. Like, oh, damn, I'm going to play the Bills because they score a lot of points. They have an electric quarterback. I want to see them on ESPN and SportsCenter and, the highlights. You want to see that. I want to see that. And that's what we all want. And that's when we'll know the day has arrived, when you see those interviews on NFL Network and the pregame shows about this young emerging quarterback and his star running back and his the new head coach who's getting it turned around. That's the kind of story we all want. So with that said, I hope you agree, but of course we always agree to disagree sometimes. But I was looking at some comparisons. Big Ben, Wilson, RG3, Kaepernick. Kaepernick only played half a season, so it's kind of hard to use him. But the similarities were the rush attempts. Definitely all, except Ben, they were all over 60 rush attempts. But the similarity, the commonality was how little they threw the ball compared to other quarterbacks. Again, none of them touched 400 attempts. A couple were close, but the one thing, average per attempt. They were all averaging 8 or more. Ben 8.9. Russell was he was the only one that did like 7.9, but that's still very, very high. And if you are a stat junkie like me, that's one thing you'll see about quarterbacks who are very, very good. Their average per attempt is always no lower than mid-7, but I've seen it as high as 9. Peyton Manning's had a couple of years where he had amazing seasons. That means the ball is going downfield, that they're getting chunk plays, explosive plays, which are 20-plus yards. That's an explosive play. And hopefully that's what we see from him. I would look for around, 400 attempts or less, maybe 80 rushes, about 5-6 touchdowns, hopefully 20-plus touchdown passes with around the 3,400 yard range, hopefully a completion percentage in the mid to slightly lower than that, 60s. But who knows? The kid could come out and just light it up, and hopefully he does. All right, Bills fans, I've rambled on enough. Until then, you have a good one. Take care. Can't wait to hear your thoughts, opinions, and feedback. That's mainly why I do this, to communicate with other Bills fans, to hear your opinions and your thoughts, and vent when I want to vent, and just discuss the Bills when I want to discuss the Bills. I don't want to get anything out of it. I don't look to make myself a celebrity or some sort of, internet personality or any kind of thing like that. I just enjoy talking to you guys, and I hope you guys have a good weekend.